You just have to be. And one of the people who, obviously, we saw for decades, and he just was always there, was Dr. Karl Kennedy, of course. And when Neighbours was all coming to an end, Karl Kennedy himself, Alan Fletcher, came on the show. We had a really good chat with him.
Really exciting, wasn't it?
It was a lovely thing to do. But anyway, he's back. Alan Fletcher is back because he's going to talk to us. I think, Alan, have we got you this morning? We're just sorting out his picture. We've got him. Hi, Alan. Good to see you.
Good morning.
Now, I know last time you were on, you talked about your music, but now this is something, even though the show's coming back, this is something you're really pushing now, isn't it? You're going on tour.
Well, indeed, I'm on tour. I'm on the road right now. I'm up in North Yorkshire. I'm in Settle, actually, in beautiful, beautiful part of the world. Just performed at the oldest music hall, surviving music hall in the world. It was a wonderful night last night. And I'm touring everywhere. I'm off to Newcastle tonight and then right across Scotland, down to Worcester and Leamington Spa and so forth. Wonderful, wonderful tour. So, yes, and then heading straight home, incredibly, to start working on Neighbours again.
Well, I tell you what, I'm glad to see you dressing like a local. The Yorkshire viewers and listeners this morning will be thrilled to see you in your flat cap. You're looking the part. But look, for anyone like the three of us, I mean, we all watched avidly growing up. We were used to seeing Dr. Kennedy strumming on the guitar. And this love of music, presumably, has been something that's been with you throughout your career.
It has. My beautiful mother bought me a guitar when I was 14 years old, and it's always been by my side, and I've always written songs and so forth. Of course, Karl Kennedy's music is a little bit rough, let's put it that way. The residents of Ramsay Street don't like to listen to Karl sing, and I actually love that comedy aspect of Karl Kennedy, that as a musician, he's considered to be a bit ordinary. But in my own life, of course, I've performed in rock bands, and now I'm performing Americana country music and touring the world doing that, which is just a joy for me.
Wow. So, I mean, the new album is the point, and that's obviously the tracks that you're touring with now. Why is it that you've now got this real desire to go into the Americana field?
Well, I've always been a person who writes about my life and how I feel about the world and so forth. But a lot of those songs have sat there literally in the vault. They've been on the computer untouched. And luckily, I met two of Australia's great Americana producers of music, Lachlan Bryan and Damien Caffarella, who invited me to come to the studio and show my songs to them, and they said, "Hey, Alan, these are good. These are really good. Let's start recording. Let's start polishing them." That was about 2 years ago now, and here this album is finally the fruition of that.
Well, Alan, last time we spoke to you, sorry, Steph,
no
you wanted
worries.
to come in.
No.
I'll come back and chuck a question in.
Alan, I just wanted to find out, how do you find it, like, juggling between the music world and then the TV world with soaps with Neighbours?
Oh, yeah, great question. The juggle's not too hard, Steph, because Neighbours is very accommodating, firstly, I have to say, and we don't film the entire year round. So I actually have considerable blocks of time that I have off. So I can actually plan to do my music around Neighbours. And so it's a wonderful mix. I mean, to be able to work on such a fantastic show like Neighbours that is so loved all around the world and incorporate my music is a joy.
Oh, we can see Susan there, embracing Susan, your on-screen wife.
I tell you what, do you ever get bored of it? Because people must call you Karl all the time.
They do. I answer to Karl. It's a bit sad, really, when you think about it. But I would never get bored with it, but to be frank, because my character has changed so much. Going to work every day to perform the same character would be boring if you were doing the same thing. But my character has evolved so much over the years. He started off as a very stern and brusque man who, basically was trying to do the best for a family of young children. Now, of course, all those children are grown up, and he's a completely different person from where he started. So the variety is wonderful. I do get to do a lot of comedy, I have to say, which is my passion.
Yeah, you had that illicit affair, didn't you, at one point, all the scandal around that. We watched it all, don't worry.
Look, I've got to ask you, Alan, I'd love to come and see you on tour. I don't know if you're going to be heading around my area. I shall check out your website to have a look. But I tell you what I'd love to see, just from a personal point of view, would you ever do a duet with John Farnham? I love John Farnham.
I would. John, sadly, is very unwell at the moment. I mean, he has some some cancer was detected in his mouth and throat. So at the moment, we're all hanging with a lot of prayers, I have to say, that John's health improves rapidly. But sadly, I mean, to do a duet with John Farnham, of course, would be the absolute pinnacle of anybody's career. But Karl Kennedy would do a duet with anybody. So anyone who's offering, he'll do a duet.
Love it.
Oh, they'll be queuing up. Alan, it's always a joy to talk to you.
thank
Thanks
you.
very much indeed.